escorting back roads. I don't know. All right, calm down, ladies.
I hate Brenda, and a bad guy hit me in the shin, and I peed all in my pants.
Nothing a little music can't help. Rockin', rockin' now, rollin'. Down to the beach I'm strolling. But the seagulls won't kick my head. Not fun. I said seagulls, stop it now. Everyone told me not to stroll on that beach. Said seagulls gon' come, put me in a coconut, and they did, and me going like, nothing I could do but yell when these birds attacked me. When I tried to run, I fell, and then these kids started laughing. And then got hit in the neck with a hacky sack. Where'd it come from? Now run, 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 jump. I can be a backpack while you run, 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 jump. Can you stop? Put me down. I love the groove and boogie. Yeah.
Great.
Show you some dance moves.
No, I don't want you to.
If I had your dance feet out there on the beach, could have outrun those birds.
You're a psycho wiener.
Let me grab my beater.
Stop it, please.
Come on, man, quit that banging.
Hey, what's that stank?
Put a fish in our basket.
Oh, yeah. I forgot I did that.
You owe me an apology.
Just hold your breath and see when the time is right. Earth's back your face. Now run, 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 jump. I can be a backpack while you run. Swing from a hairy vine. I can be a backpack while you climb. Stand on one hand and lift. Rocks with your special gift. Run, 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 jump. Now breathe. Just like that. Like that. One day I was walking and I found this big log. Then I rolled the log over. Underneath was a tiny little stick. And I was like, that log had a child. Listen, boy, someday when you are older, you could get hit by a boulder. While you're lying there screaming, come down, eat these seagulls. Both your knees. Stop it now.
Yeah, whatever, you're sort of pitchy.
Didn't like it?
Listen, man, I'm not your friend.
Don't fall asleep.
Change my mind on the Iran war. I want to get involved. My Call of Duty KD ratio speaks numbers. Gonna fuck them all up. Hey, dipshit. I'm signing up for the war. Where's my gun at? Pew, 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 motherfuckers. Can't believe they simply just gave me the gun. Was fucking easy as hell.
Guys, I read a manual for 5 minutes and now I'm flying. These fuckers don't know what's about to hit them. Guys, my fuel gauge is almost fucking empty, and I may have to eject soon. This shit is not looking good, my friends.
Well, this fucking sucks. Hopefully the jet somehow miraculously hits the target I was aiming for. If not, I'll probably have to go into hiding. I just heard over the radio that apparently the jet hit a 93-year-old man and his puppy. Shit happens, I guess. May head over there and loot. Haha. If you want to make videos like this, check the link in my bio. It's literally like...
Gen X is practically unbreakable. The lawn furniture could eat you alive. Vending machines sold cigarettes to anyone. Yes, even kids. No ID, no problem. Car designs basically encouraged secondhand smoke. We were trapped in rolling ashtrays. Dodgeball? That was less of a game, more like a full-on war. We walked miles to school, rain or shine, while our parents were off working. Come summer, we risked third-degree burns just going down a metal slide. Yep, people smoked in restaurants, too. We grew up in a cloud of secondhand smoke. Playgrounds had zero safety features, and somehow, we survived. When the streetlights came on, that was your signal to go home. No phone call needed. Imagine eating pizza with a creepy stuffed animal staring into your soul. That was normal. No computers at home meant our handwriting actually looked good. While our parents were grinding at work, we took care of the house. We covered our textbooks with grocery store paper bags, DIY style. Streaming didn't exist, so we actually paid attention to real life. Did you live through all this?
Fireball is offering a lifetime supply of their whiskey only to their fans that are over 90 years old. NASA found a diamond in space that is 5 times bigger than Earth. The amount of money that was spent on GTA 6 is more than it took to build the tallest building in the world. Zoos are now giving guests special glasses to avoid eye contact with gorillas. An AI applied to the art school in Vienna successfully. A mini dachshund named Valerie survived on a remote island in Australia for over a year by herself. A hawk terrorized a bald man for weeks, and a falconer told him that it was just hormonal. A man was ticketed in Montreal just minutes after his parking spot turned into a bus stop. A 71-year-old man was arrested after police found 7 emotional support tigers inside his house. NASA is offering $3 million to anyone who can recycle 96 bags of astronaut poop on the moon. Police are investigating whether a foster mom in Missouri traded a child for a monkey to grow her exotic.
This moments ever caught on camera. A mother and her child walked into their building thinking they were safe, but right behind them, a man appeared. As the kid shut the door, he stood there staring through the glass. No knocking, no speaking. Just standing, hands behind his back, completely still. He didn't blink, didn't move, just waited. The eerie footage left viewers disturbed. What was he planning, and why was he just standing there in silence? Unsettling visitor. A family was enjoying a movie night when strange noises echoed outside their door. Curious but cautious, one of them checked the Ring camera. What they saw made their skin crawl. An old woman stood there holding something, her behavior unnatural. She didn't seem lost, but something was definitely off. Her vacant stare and eerie movements didn't feel right. Thankfully, the family stayed inside and called the police, because some visitors aren't just looking.
Nobody will go upstairs.
Surprisingly, someone managed to break into the second floor of Elvis Presley's mansion. After Elvis passed away, his mansion was completely sealed off, and no one could enter. Years later, the mansion was open to the public, but one area remained off limits. The second floor. This area includes Elvis's bathroom and bedroom, and the bathroom is where Elvis passed away, right next to his master bedroom. Even presidents and high-ranking officials were denied access. Only those closest to Elvis were allowed upstairs. However, when Elvis's daughter, Lisa Marie Presley, married actor Nicolas Cage, Nicolas was granted special access to the second floor. On the night of the 25th anniversary of Elvis's death, Nicolas made a secret visit upstairs. It is said that Nicolas took a brief look at the bathroom and sat in Elvis's chair, seemingly discovering something. Afterward, Nicolas came downstairs and vomited profusely, adding to the mystery of the whole situation.
To attack America directly for America to feel it, or for the world to feel it for that matter. Iran's parliament today voted to close the Strait of Hormuz. For reference, this is the Strait of Hormuz. It is a vital shipping channel which over 20% of the world's oil flows through daily. If Iran's Supreme Court approves of this, that means that $1 billion worth of oil shipments would be blocked every day, which would cause oil prices to soar. This would cause economic catastrophe. The cost for food and medicine would rise. People who are living who are just making it would fall into extreme levels of poverty. People are getting on TikTok talking about, oh, the US has the best defense system and beating the drums of war. You guys don't understand. You're playing checkers, they're playing chess. Iran has positioned themselves in a very strategic position, and they are using this position to bring global order, to make Israel and the US back down. The amount of boys getting on TikTok going like, I'm ready for war. Like, I just know that you have to sit next to your teacher during class because you stuttered when you read. Shut up. Please shut up. This is the thing about people like this, is that the only time they lock in is when something happens. History does not start.
But here's the craziest thing about Bill Clinton. So he goes to Princeton instantly. He gets an essay charge. So, you study these guys, they have that thing that happens early on their life. So now they got something they control you with. Especially when you're younger, more vulnerable. They tell you, we'll promise you all these things, so do what we need you to do. Pull the right triggers, we'll take care of you. So that the investigation of the JFK assassination was done by the Warren Committee. There was one guy in the entire committee that said, no, this isn't the real story. The guy who voted no, one day got in a plane and was never heard from again. He disappeared. Guess who drove him to the airport? It's really crazy if you study it, because everything is data. They compromise you sexually. Are you a psychopath? Would you just commit horrible crimes against your own family, just to get ahead? And most of these people would do it, and not even think twice about it.
So they coming up with a new prison that allows inmates to serve years of their sentence in just a matter of minutes. So the criminals is gonna have a choice to spend tens of years behind bars, or they can make the choice to get the artificial memory implanted into their brain. So this process is called cognify. And the intent of it is to treat the criminal like a patient. They're gonna try to change the person's brain chemistry. After this process, when they re-enter society, they will be new and reformed. And they won't even be capable of committing any other crime. The chip can make the patient feel empathetic. Depending on the severity of the crime, the chip can also make you feel the emotional and physical pain of the victim and the family members. You can feel what they felt. So the process only takes about 7 minutes. But to the patient, it seemed like it had been years. Last year, the U.S. government spent $8.7 billion taxpayers' dollars on the prison. They say with this new prison, they can save money for health care, education. Also, they feel that it will be so many.
There's a saint I came across. I thought it was the coolest story ever. His name is Saint Longinus, the centurion. He was the centurion that did the spear into Jesus' side. But the story goes that his eyesight was bad, like it was degrading and stuff. When he pierced Jesus' side, the blood and water poured on his face, and he was instantly healed, his eyesight, but then instantly realized that he was the Son of God. Immediately after that, he's like, I need to go spread the gospel. And so he traveled all over the Middle East and stuff, spreading the gospel. But news got back to Pontius Pilate, so they captured him, brought him in, and they're like, deny your faith. And he said, why would I deny my faith when I know who the true king is? So what they did is, like, since he gave you back your eyesight, we're going to take your eyes. And so they took his eyes out, and that didn't stop him. He kept on spreading the gospel, completely blind. And then they said, well, you didn't get the hint. They cut out his tongue. But what the miracle that happened with it is that when they cut out his tongue, he was still able to speak perfectly. But they said it was almost like God was speaking through him, almost with a thunderous voice. They brought him into the temple, basically bow down before our gods, deny your faith in Jesus Christ. And he somehow grabbed a sword, swung, and cut the head off of one of the statue gods. Let's go. And he said, let's see what your gods do now. And as soon as he said that, an earthquake happened, and every single god in this temple fell down. Shook everyone, and then the governor decided, he's like, we're done with this, and they beheaded him.
Golly, dude. So
Yeah.
much more.
They have just uncovered a discovery that will change the course of humanity forever. I don't know if you've heard about this, but here you can see them digging, and they come across the top of a pyramid here, and they're kind of speculating of like what it is. And as it gets deeper and deeper, the writing on it, I shouldn't call it writing, it's actually type of Egyptian writing, an Egyptian petroglyphs, if you might call it that, but it's not quite Egyptian. The scientists are calling it a reformed Egyptian because it's a little bit different. But again, this is in Guatemala. This happened last week. These diggers are trying to show us what is on here. You can see now, look, here's some photos. It looks like some sort of sarcophagi under there, and then this pyramid next to it. And as they get closer, look at that. It looks like an alien being. They said that all the writing shows that it shows the word for cousin, and then it shows the word for sky, and so it's saying sky cousins. They're about to open the sarcophagi in part 2 of this video, and it is going to blow your mind, the type of bone edge that they find in here, and the flesh edge that they find throughout the sarcophagi. But I will post that in part 2. First, I want to look at this. Doesn't that look like aliens? Again, this is like a reformed Egyptian, but it's showing aliens, and apparently it shows the history of the world, but not just for humanity, but for another species that has been living amongst us. Again, this is breaking news. It's going to change the course of humanity forever. I'm going to post in part 2 what we see in that sarcophagi, so go. It's going to blow your mind. That's all I can say, so buckle up and hold on to your seat.
If there's so much trash on Earth, just throw it into a volcano. Tell me why this would not work. It wouldn't work. The world makes 2.01 billion tons of municipal solid waste each year. Density is mass over volume, and for lower-income countries, their trash density is larger than higher-income countries. For the planet, let's go with an average of 300 kilograms per meter cubed. Divide this mass by density, and we get the total volume of trash in the world at 6.7 cubic kilometers. Now let's see where we can throw all of this. There are 1,500 active volcanoes in the world, but you're thinking about shield volcanoes, which have an open lava lake. This means you're left with Mount Nyiragongo in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Kilauea in Hawaii, Ertail in Ethiopia, and Masaya in Nicaragua. I didn't mention some of them like Mount Erebus or Michael because they're not accessible. Mount Nyiragongo is the best candidate and has a diameter of 800 meters with a depth of 250 meters, which means it has a crater volume of 0.126 cubic kilometers. That's just less than 2% of the total trash humanity creates each year. Now you might say, why don't just the locals use it? Goma is the nearest city with a population of over 1 million. They generate 700 tons of waste each day. With their density of 250, that's 2,800 meters cubed per day, which means their volcano has enough space for 123 years of trash. But food waste is 55 to 70% water, plastic and rubber is 2%. At an effective average of 60% for Goma, it means we would need to dispose of 420,000 kilograms of water each day. The specific heat of water is 4,186 joules per kilogram Celsius, and the latent heat of vaporization is 2.2 million joules per kilogram. The volcano has to heat the water from 20 to 100 Celsius, which is 335 kJ per kg, and then to also vaporize it, in total we need 2.6 million joules per kilogram. Multiply that by the water in Goma's waste, and we see we need 1 terajoule of energy each day. The lava energy is only 1.7 gigajoules per meters cubed, meaning we still have 630 cubic meters of lava each day forming a crust on top of it, making it unusable. And here's a video of what would happen if you throw trash into a volcano with the simple math being said. You can't use volcanoes.
You eat garlic every damn day. First time your breath turns into biological warfare, but your body becomes unstoppable. On the first week, your immune system wakes up like an angry bouncer, kicking viruses before they even knock on your door. 2 weeks in, and holy shit, your blood pressure drops faster than your standards on a Friday night, and mosquitoes flee from you like you owe them money. Month hits, and you're basically a fucking vampire slayer. Your cholesterol balances out, blood flows like a goddamn river, and your morning soldier could cut diamonds. Your testosterone naturally climbs because garlic turns your balls into a hormone factory working overtime, and your body stops being a weak piece of shit. Follow testosterone.
Okay, have y'all heard about that woman who was, my daughter actually sent me the video of this on TikTok. Crazy, y'all. Listen to this. So she was sleeping in her bed, and she has one of those upright chargers. She was charging her phone while she was sleeping. So, of course, her phone was upright on the charger facing towards her bed. And she had, like, the sound of the rain and thunder or whatever on her phone to help her go to sleep, which I do that myself.
Thousands.
And she said she's a light sleeper. And she woke up to the sound of, like a microphone moving around or something. So she happened to look over, and there was a man. There was a man that was watching her sleep on her phone.
Creepy.
He was watching her sleep that whole entire time, I guess. So she said she immediately jumped up, turned her phone away from her so he couldn't see her. And when she did that, y'all, he said, "Come back." He told her to come back. Oh my goodness. So he told her to come back. So she said she immediately tried to get off her phone. You know, for like 30 seconds, he was like talking in another language or something like that. And then she said when she was able to shut her phone off, he was still there on her.
This deal about Jeffrey Epstein shape-shifting, what did he look like? What, when he shifted, what was his appearance?
His head went bigger, like his head went a lot bigger like this, and then his eyes went really big like this, like big and black. And then there were like ridges on the head. You know, it wasn't like, you know, David Icke's spoken about the reptilians. It was different, and it was. I painted it. I'll share it with you. I need to paint it more because I burnt that painting because I don't like seeing it. But he turned it into something in front of my eyes, like it was while he was orgasming. It was really, really.
What?
And when I looked at him, I was like, in my mind, I was like, well, I just thought, what's going on? You know, I was freaked out, and then I decided to just look away, and I looked away, and then when I looked back, it was him again. But I saw it.
What about the hands and the other parts of the body? Was it?
It was actually, it was under a blanket from here.
You just saw the head.
It was the head part, and it went big like that with the ridges and the horns and the massive eyes.
I mean, and like scales, like reptilian scales.
Yes, yeah, like ridges and scales, like yeah, exactly, like all around it. I've never seen anyone else turn into anything like that. And people say, oh, was I doing drugs? Epstein didn't allow drugs there. Like, you know, I smoked cigarettes. I wasn't even allowed to smoke cigarettes near. You had to smoke far away. And no alcohol, nothing around there. So if I was, I mean, maybe they drugged me. I don't know. But I saw this, and I've never seen anything like that again. But I've had nightmares and dreams of like demons coming at me around that same time. You know, but I never saw anyone else turn into something like that. And the other weird thing is that like I was still around him for quite a long time after that, but I never looked at him and thought, hey, why did I see this happen? It almost created like a brain fog. It was like such shock. You know, I was in such shock, and I couldn't tell anyone what had happened, and I didn't know what to make of it, to be honest. You know, it's like we start questioning ourselves, like, what am I seeing? But I know what I saw. I know what I saw.